all the organizers, Claire T, Regina, Leslie Liu, Claire, where's Claire? Oh, she stepped out. And I want to say thank you to all the other organizers and the sponsors for making this event happen.
Yeah.
Bringing it to Toronto so I don't have to fly anywhere. So, standing here in front of you, I am still in awe. Put up my slide, please. It was just last year that I entered 2 speaking competitions and I won first place in one of them. And I also, I'm a courage coach where after working with me, my clients become more courageous to put other people's opinions aside so that they can live a life that's purposeful to them, that brings them joy and meaning. But what I'm most proud of is being a mom to my 6-year-old son, because he is comfortable speaking up and trying new things. Because it took me a long time to build my confidence and own my voice. And some days I'm still working on it. It was 2 years ago on a Sunday. I was driving my son home from visiting my parents and my brother. My son, Damien, he was 4 at the time, and he already had a full day of fun with my brother. And after I parked the car, he was walking beside me, his little hand in mine. Mama, when we get home, can I watch on the iPad? Right away, a flame flared up in my chest, and a voice screamed in my head. We aren't even home yet, and you're already asking to watch? We'll see, I replied. As a footsteps echoed around the garage, another voice spoke up in my head. Hey, Claudia, why are you so mad? Because he already had a full day of fun and he's asking for more? Instantly, my heart dropped to my stomach and a dark wave just wrapped up around my chest. Because as a daughter of a tiger mom, speaking up is far from my mind. Speaking up means sitting on the sofa and getting bombed by missiles of reasoning for 20 to 30 minutes. And that's on a good day. And on a not so good day, speaking up meant meeting with deadly silences, loud yellings, or even physical pain. And so on that day, even though I was very upset with him asking the question, I was proud to be the mom that I wish I had, because I built myself up into this courageous, confident self, and I gave myself a lot of love and courage to get to where I am today. And so that's why I'm really excited to share with you 5 tips to raise confident kids. First of all, challenge authority. What you mean? How many of you are parents here? Yeah, all of you. You mean to have my kids challenge me as a parent? I get it. As I said, whenever Damien challenges me, I get very irritated. I remember when he was 2 or 3 years old, we were just asking him if he would like to brush his teeth after dinner, and right away he was sliding on the floor, flaring his arms and legs and screaming and crying. It took me so much courage to just reel myself back in so I don't explode all over him. So I just sat and watched. Any one of you just sat and watched a kid have a tantrum? React. But after a while, he grunted. Okay, fine, I'll do it, but I don't want to. It was the first time I heard it, and it was like an arrow to my heart. Because how many times have I done something I didn't want to because I didn't want my mom to get mad at me? How many times have we gone against our wishes just so that other people keep loving us and accepting us? And how many times have you stopped yourself from speaking up because you want to keep the peace? One too many times. And I want to change this narrative. And I don't mean to get them to rule over us, but speaking up is a skill. We need to figure out what it is that we want to say yes to and say no to. We need to form the request in our brains, And we also need to get the courage to get the words out of our mouths. And I want to give my son the safe space so that he can practice speaking up, so that when in the future he comes across things that are unfair to him, that he's able to do that. Or when other people say no to him, he can still pursue his dreams. So I invite you to give your kids a safe space to challenge you so that they can practice their negotiation skills. Number 2, process emotions. Most of the times we don't want to do the things we desire because we don't want to face negative emotions. I mean, think about someone yelling at you, or laughing at you, or making fun of you, or walking away from you. These are situations that no one wants to deal with. But it's just when we are able to get through these feelings, then we can get to the other side. And so I want to teach my son how to process his emotions by showing him how I process my emotions. So I remember it was 2 weeks before my first speaking competition. And I was sitting in bed. My throat felt as if a sandpaper had scraped the top layer off. And my body is itchy with rashes. My husband walked in to give me a hug. What is this thing I got? I'm so tired of it. It's been 3 weeks already. And as I hugged him and leaned my head against his midsection, that's when it dawned on me. My body is trying to stop me from speaking up on stage because it was a story I was too afraid to share. And with this realization, my fear released and tears came pouring down my face. And when my son heard it, he came running into the bedroom and jumped onto my bed. Mama, what's wrong? Oh, baby, I'm just scared. Mama just needs a time to process my emotions. Right away, he wrapped his arms around me. It's okay to be scared. And you have all the coaching tools. Wow, Claudia, good job. All the hard work that you did.
I love it. Wow.
And a lot of times whenever Damien is afraid or when he's anxious, this is what we usually do. We'll put a hand on our chest and we'll just breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. And we'll do a few rounds of that. And other ways of helping your kids process their emotions is just to sit with them and maybe to speak back to the feeling or draw out the emotions. Feelings are complicated, and yet when we allow ourselves to sit through it, then we can go on to the other side. So teach your kids how to process their emotions so they can move boldly forward. 3, value their voices. When we first enrolled Damien into jiu-jitsu, he was 5 at the time. The man behind the counter asked him to select the color of his gi. So he laid out white, black, blue, and purple. My son leaned against me and eyeing the purple one. You want the purple one, right? And the man squinted. Are you sure? Once you buy it, you cannot exchange it. Well, that's why we're here for jiu-jitsu, right? The man nodded and chuckled. I read somewhere in an article that by the time boys turn 7 or 8 years old, they're more likely to abandon ideas that are not accepted by society. And I'm sure it's not just boys. Look at all of us, caring too much about what other people think. And with this awareness, I always wanted to make sure that what my son is interested in so I can help him stand on it. Now, as parents, I understand we want our kids to be safe, we don't want them to get hurt or bullied, but sometimes we may end up forcing our opinions on them rather than teaching them how to stand on it. Let me ask you a question. How well do you know your kids? If you're interested in it, I invite you to just sit with your kids for 10 minutes tonight and just listen to them tell you anything that they want to. Listen to their words. Watch their expressions. Put yourself into their shoes and see the world through their eyes. And by doing so, we're teaching them what it means to value their voices. And imagine they're grown and out in the world filled with creative ideas. And they're actually able to share their ideas with the world freely because they know that they are different and unique, because they value their voices. Just imagine how confident they will be. Four, build self-trust. I was watching a YouTube video. It showed of kids learning Kung Fu in the Shaolin Temple, and these kids range from 6 to 10. And every time they go in to train, they stay there for 11 months, with one month going back home to stay with their family. When the parents were asked, why did you send your kids to study Kung Fu? One dad responded with this. When I was young, I really wanted to learn Kung Fu, but my dad disapproved of it. So I sent my son to learn Kung Fu. And then I was reading another article of a woman sharing that her son's dream is to become an astronaut. And the first time she heard it, she said it felt like someone punched her in between the eyes. But over the years, her son took courses and got a piloting license and made decisions to go toward the dream of getting into NASA. When other parents asked her how is she able to support her son, this is what she said. My heart was broken into pieces. But every time I talked to him and talked to him about his dreams and saw his eyes lit up, my love for him gave me the courage to pick up all of those pieces so I could keep supporting him. As parents, we want our kids to succeed. We want them to succeed faster, fail less, and maybe we solve all the problems for them, or like remove all the obstacles for them because we think we know best. But what if we don't know best? We're all here to walk our own paths, and so are our kids. I remember that well, you know what? And one of the things that I really wanted to share is this. Our kids are not here to live our unlived lives.
Yes.
As parents, we are a little bit obligated to support our kids to follow their dreams. So let's let go, and I know it's the hardest thing to do, but let go so that they can follow their dreams. Celebrate their efforts. I know that Dr. Eva talked about celebrating the accomplishment, but I want to go deeper than that, but to celebrate their efforts. I remember it was 2 days after my second speaking competition, and we were sitting at the dining room. My son turned to me, Mama, I wish you win. Oh, baby, I know, but this is how life is. I showed up the first time and I won, and I showed up the second time and I didn't. But guess what? You were there to watch me speak, and I did win. I was able to speak on a magnificent stage in front of 300 people, along with 13 other amazing speakers. And my 6-year-old son got to watch me speak and all the potential. But what's most important is that I was able to show him how to celebrate the effort. So many times we're only validating all the external results. We're happy when we get the next client, or we feel we have accomplished when we get the promotion, or we have made a certain amount of money. But how much effort have we put into things that did not have a good turnout? And if we are only celebrating all the external accomplishments, we're minimizing all of the efforts that we put in. One of my mentors told me this. The amount of celebration you should do should be equivalent to the amount of effort that you put in.
Yeah.
And the first time I heard it, I just wanted to lie there and sleep for a century. And so let's teach our kids how to celebrate the efforts, because the effort is the only thing that they can control. they are already enough, and the external effort is just a cherry on top. And so, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap up, the 5 tips to raise confident kids: 1 is to challenge authority, 2, process emotions, 3, value their voices, 4, build their self-trust, and 5, celebrate that effort. Now, looking at this list, this is not a list that I just applied to my son. This is actually a list that I applied to myself. Because as a daughter of a Tiger mom, I'm so thankful of all the opportunities that she has given me. And yet I had to do a lot of work to build my own confidence, to stand in front of you, and also walk alongside my clients. And also, as an imperfect mom, I'm always looking for ways to build my son's confidence. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your kids. And I know raising kids is far from being easy, so I applaud you for being the best parent that you can be. And at the same time, I would like to challenge you to take a look at the list and find an item or 2, or all of them, and see if you can apply it to your kids and maybe to yourself, so that we can all grow together. Because when you grow, your children will grow. So let's lift each other up and raise the next generation of kids that is loving, courageous, and confident. And I want to share with you, what happened to the other books?
Your books are
Oh.
over there, one is mine.
Oh, okay. So just want to share this with you. If anyone is interested for a free copy of our book, it's a book that is from Leslie Liu, Dr. Julie Tran, and myself. If anyone would like to have a free book, you can come up and claim for it. Thank you so much.